So I needed a little bit of time to process season 2 of Westworld before actually going in front of a camera and giving my review. For those of you who don't know, this is my season 2 Westworld review. The first season of Westworld, if you guys haven't seen my review, I loved the first season. I thought it was really, really good. One of the best first seasons I've seen in a long time of something. I think that what it was able to accomplish with two timelines is something that very few shows know how to do. And the production value is that of like a blockbuster movie. So to see a big TV show, at least a big first season with a huge budget that had ambition and storytelling and characters to match those visual effects and just big budget, that's amazing. And the second season is the same way. It is very ambitious. The first season, because I'm assuming if you're watching this review, you've seen the first season. So with that said, the first season, the timelines, the two timelines, you don't really find out that until the very end of the first season, and it's like, oh wow. But what I found interesting is the second season, right off the bat, the first episode, they show three timelines. You know it's three timelines too, and they're just like, figure it out. And so for the first 9 episodes of season 2, you're just kind of like, man, this is hard to follow, but in the best of ways. And I have to say, I think that mostly it does add up, at least upon first viewing. I've only seen the second season once, which I know maybe I should watch it twice before I actually go in front of a camera, but I did see episode 10 twice, because that is the episode that ties everything together in the previous 9 episodes. And I have to say that I think that this second season is a great sophomore debut. I mean, in a world where a lot of second seasons just aren't as good. I mean, I loved the first season of Mr. Robot. The second season was not as good, not even close. True Detective, great first season. Second season, not that good. Even Handmaid's Tale, fantastic first season. Second season, it was good, but it was by no means great like the first season. So to see this second season almost reach the heights of the first season, I gotta applaud them. Now I know a lot of people are kind of like, it's too complicated, like there are too many plot threads, it's so hard to follow. And I have to say though, I mean, that I think is part of what I love about this show. It is a Rubik's Cube, and in it being a Rubik's Cube, I mean, it's from the mind of Jonathan Nolan, so he's a Nolan brother. And if you've seen any of Christopher Nolan's films, you know he loves playing with time. And Jonathan Nolan loves doing that too. And with the playing of time, I personally love that. If you think it's too much, then yeah, I mean, episode 10 does kind of satisfy most of that, but it also leaves a lot of questions open for season 3. And honestly, I think that kind of has to, because the first season of Westworld, if I recall correctly, because it was 2 years ago, the first season was only supposed to be a season. So when it was actually successful, I think it got like 3 million views. When it was actually successful, they were kind of like, let's make a second season. And it was just as ambitious, if not more so. But in continuing the show, especially with how this season ended, you have to also ask questions so that audience members are going to be like, what's going to happen in this third season? And I personally think that this does it very well. And I know I'm talking a lot about plot points and whatnot. Not plot points, but like details. And I normally don't in reviews, but with this show, I feel as though I kind of have to. But now I'll get into more of like, you know, my usual stuff that I talk about. I think that this is a very well shot series. I think that, I know the first season was shot on film. The second season, I actually don't know if it was shot on film, but nonetheless, it's still gorgeous. You have Raymond's incredible score. He just keeps on, like, Game of Thrones, his scores were immaculate. And then Westworld, they're just as great in my opinion. And I think he does a great job with having different renditions of certain themes he had at the first season. In this, especially at Raj World and Shogun World, it was just great. The acting is top notch. Even Rachel Wood as Dolores is incredible. Jeffrey Wright as Bernard is incredible as well. Ed Harris is the Man in Black. Incredible. I mean, you really have to give this show props for getting a lot of veteran actors together to do a TV show. And most of these actors honestly do films for the most part. As a film critic, I can attest to that. So it's very awesome to see that these people are like, hey, I believe in this material. Let's do this show. I'll give you my all. I will give you the best acting of my ability. So when I saw this second season got a lot of Emmy nominations, I was like, yeah, it makes sense. I honestly don't have any flaws with the second season. I'm just going to get right off the bat. I think, technically speaking, from cinematography to sound to score to acting to storytelling, I think it's all perfect in my opinion, at least from the first viewing. Who knows, maybe a year from now when I see it a second time, I might be like, not as good. But for now, I honestly think it's just as great as the first season. Maybe a little bit lesser, but still nonetheless a great second season. And if you haven't seen it, I would highly recommend it. So guys, Westworld Season 2 gets a 5 out of 5 star rating. If you haven't seen this show, I want to hear your thoughts if you have seen it. And definitely check it out. And don't forget the subscription, notification bell, and catch you guys later.